resources for development, water, economic resources. They are the items that can be used to produce goods and services. In fact, resources are the inputs that enable business to operate. Without resources, there would be no production. Can you imagine trying to run even a small business such as a family farm without land on which to plant crops, seeds to plant, sunshine and rain to make crops grow, tractors to till the soil, burns and which to keep equipment and supplies, and farmers to plant and harvest crops? As business grow and become more complex, they require more and more resources. In addition, the resources that businesses use vary. For instance, the resources needed by a computer chip manufacturer differ greatly from the resources needed by a school cafeteria. Producers are responsible for choosing and using the best combination of resources. They must decide how many workers are needed, what supplies and equipments are appropriate, and what raw materials are necessary to produce their goods and services. By doing this, businesses can more easily reach their goals, and consumers can obtain the products that they want. In economics, resources are usually divided into three categories: natural resources, human resources, and capital goods. These resources are also known as a factor of production because they enable business to produce the goods and services that consumers want. Any resource that is found in nature and used to produce goods and services is considered as natural resource. Nature provides a wide variety of resources including land, minerals such as iron, gold, silver and copper, energy reserves including oil, coal and natural gas, lakes, rivers, oceans and other bodies of water, wildlife and vegetation, air, weather conditions including sunshine, precipitation, rainfall, snow and wind. All of the natural resources become economic resources when they are used to produce a good or service. For instance, we can build factories and offices on the land. Trees can be turned into paper. Water, sun and wind can be used to generate electricity for manufacturing. And air can be used to cool machines and buildings. People, our human resources, are valued for the work they do to produce goods and services. These includes both physical and intellectual works. Examples of human resources include real estate agents selling or leasing houses and office spaces, truck drivers delivering raw materials and or finished goods, operation managers coordinating production activities, marketing researchers administering questionnaires, entrepreneurs investing time and effort in a new products and businesses. Human resources are required to some extent in the production of all goods and services. In fact, human resources are most important economic resource. They combine the other resources to produce goods and services. What do you think farmland is? A natural resource or a capital good? Obviously, farmland is natural resource. Obviously, farmland is a land which is a natural resource, but farmland is often cleared, fertilized, treated with pesticides, and transformed so dramatically that some experts consider farmland to be a capital good. After all, a farmland factory produces food and other crops for consumption. Any manufactured or constructed item that is used to produce goods and services is considered a capital good. While natural resources are provided by nature, capital goods are created by people. Human resources create and use capital goods to transform natural resources from their less satisfactory original state to products that better satisfy consumers. In addition, capital goods help human resources to be more productive. Capital goods come in many forms. Equipment, machinery, and tools that are physically used to produce goods and services are capital goods. Supplies, buildings, trucks, roads, and ports are also capital goods. Why? They enable producers to operate business and make products available to consumers. Keep in mind that although money is needed to run a business, it is not a capital good. Instead, it is considered financial capital. Capital goods reflect the state of technology that exists in a society. In general, societies that are leaders in technology have the most up-to-date capital goods, basically, while developing countries use simple hand tools to produce goods and services. Industrialized societies take advantage of much more sophisticated and available industrial and digital technology. How limited resources can be managed to operate business? When natural resources are limited, producers use one or more of the following techniques. Number one is find another source. When a source becomes limited in one area, it may be found in another. For example, searches for more oil deposits began when there was an oil shortage. Oil has now been found in other parts of our country, in other countries, and on the ocean floor. Number two is find an alternative resource. Sometimes other resources can serve the same purpose as a more limited resource. Natural gas and solar energy, for instance, have replaced oil for many home uses. Also, the popularity of alternative fuel vehicles powered by electricity, ethanol, biodiesel, compressed natural gas, or hydrogen is increasing among customers as well as manufacturers. Conserve the resource, which is a third point. To conserve a disappearing resource, users must decrease the amount that is currently used. Consider some of the world's endangered animal species. Many of them are protected by laws that make it illegal to kill or use them. Number 4 is pay a higher price for the resource. When natural resources are limited, producers are willing to pay more to obtain the resource. That's why a piece of land in a booming business district is likely to cost more than the same piece of land in a rural area. Think about it. There is a much more limited supply of available land and possibly a higher demand in a city's business district than in the country. When capital goods become limited, producers use one or more of the following techniques. Maintain the capital good, which is the number 1 point. If an old piece of equipment is still needed and replacements are not available, employers are encouraged to use the equipment carefully to prolong its life. Let's say that a courier service is delivery van is getting old. If there are no comparable new vehicles available, employees need to take good care of their existing van. Number 2 is change inventory procedures. Instead of stockpiling inventories, producers often order materials just in time for them to be used. With just-in-time inventory, materials are ordered as they are needed rather than maintaining large inventories. For instance, rather than keeping lots of wood, stain or glue on hand, a furniture manufacturer might keep just enough of these supplies in stock to use in the next few weeks. Point number 3 is find alternative capital goods. In some cases, businesses are not able to use a particular capital good and must find a different one in order to operate. When the trucking industry goes on strike, for example, resource owners and producers ship their goods by rail or air. Modify current technology. Sometimes current technology can be modified to meet the current needs of procedures. Consider the evolution of computer software programs. They change all the time to meet the new needs of their users. We can conserve disappearing resources by switching to alternative natural resources. Resource owners and producers rely on a variety of techniques when human resources are limited. These are offer higher wages to attract workers to some jobs, especially dangerous or undesirable ones. Business pay high wages. Airplane pilots, for example, are typically paid higher wages due to the danger they face on the job. Number 2 is offer training and retraining. When workers lack the skills to perform a job, some businesses train or retrain their employees. Businesses that purchase new computer software, for instance, typically retrain their current employees to use the new application. Increased promotions. Billboards, print, broadcast, and electronic advertisement can be used to inform potential workers that positions are available. Some businesses also send recruiters to college campuses in hopes of locating new employees. Number 4 is find new resources of human resource. When faced with shortages of traditional employees, many businesses seek new sources of employees. Fast food restaurants, which in years past were typically staffed by teenagers, now encourage senior citizens and individuals with disabilities to apply. Increase automation. For some jobs, business replace human resources with capital goods. In fact, in many factories, robots now do the work previously done by human resources. Offer employee assistance program. Employers use a variety of assistance programs to attract workers. Some businesses furnish daycare for their employees' children. Others provide financial assistance for employees who wish to attend college. Offer benefits. Employers offer monetary and non-monetary benefits to attract workers. Monetary benefits can include bonuses for new hires and payment of relocation expenses. Job security and medical insurance are examples of non-monetary benefits. Offer flex time. Flex time allows workers to start and end the work day at their convenience. For instance, instead of starting the day at 8 a.m. and ending at 4 p.m., a worker might begin at 6 a.m. and end at 2 p.m. Offer shared time. In shared time, two people share the responsibility for one full-time position. As an example, 2 employees could fill one accounting position, one working in the morning and the other working in the afternoon.